North Korea, enveloped in secrecy and governed with an iron fist by Kim Jong-un's authoritarian regime, remains one of the world's most enigmatic nations. The act of taking photographs here is laden with risk, as the regime's strict regulations severely punish those who defy the rules. Yet, the few images that manage to escape the country's borders unveil the stark realities of life within. These rare photographs, from orchestrated scenes of citizens using computers to the limited selection of state-approved hairstyles and the pervasive presence of beggars, offer a poignant glimpse into the daily struggles faced by its people. Presented here are 22 rare and forbidden photos, each smuggled out at great risk, shedding light on the hidden truths of this tightly controlled society. Number 22. 3 Generations of Punishment. The chilling concept of 3 generations of punishment unveils a brutal reality in North Korean society, where the consequences of one's actions are inflicted not only upon the individual, but also upon their descendants. This regime's merciless version of justice creates a dark, hereditary curse that stains future generations. In North Korea, committing a crime means that the retribution doesn't end with the offender. It extends to their children and grandchildren, who are forced to bear the heavy burden of tainted lineage. Established in 1950, this draconian law aimed to eradicate the bloodlines of those labeled counter-revolutionaries post-war. The punishment extends beyond the guilty to encompass their entire family, turning relatives into unwilling hostages, enduring the repercussions of a single member's misdeeds. This grim form of collective punishment has a history steeped in oppression, torture, and fear. North Korea is not isolated in its use. Nazi Germany, China, Japan, and South Korea have also implemented similar practices. Notably, South Korea abandoned this system in the 1990s. In North Korea, however, the Workers' Party continues to enforce this shadowy rule, where 3 generations of a political criminal's family may be imprisoned or subjected to even worse fates. Strikingly, this punishment is not codified in any official legal document. It persists as an unspoken law, a tool to consolidate power and suppress dissent. Through this relentless system, North Korea perpetuates a climate of terror, blatantly violating fundamental human rights. The international community must stand in unwavering condemnation of this cruel practice and strive for the liberation, justice, and human dignity of the North Korean people. Number 21. The Pleasure Squad. The concept of a pleasure squad might seem surreal, yet it exists within the enigmatic borders of North Korea. Comprising young, beautiful women, Kim Jong-un's pleasure squad is an elite group tasked with providing entertainment. Picture these women in distinctive, revealing uniforms, standing in formation, each one hoping to be selected. Selection is based on beauty, talent, and the right connections. Whispers and rumors surround this clandestine group, suggesting that its members undergo a rigorous, secretive training regimen. They refine their performing arts skills to perfection, ensuring they can captivate and entertain the highest echelons of North Korean leadership, including the elusive supreme leader. However, the allure of this secretive assembly is tainted by disturbing practices. It is said that virginity tests are part of the selection process, casting a dark shadow over the façade of glamour. The pleasure squad remains shrouded in mystery, its true nature known only to a select few within the regime's inner circle. Number 20. Pretending to use a computer. This intriguing photo, captured in North Korea, features women appearing to enthusiastically engage with computers in a well-equipped room. At first glance, this scene might suggest a nation advancing in technological prowess. However, as La Fourrue recounted, during the photo session, the tour guide instructed the women to press the delete button as a façade, despite the computers being switched off. This orchestrated act was intended to project an image of modernity and technological integration within North Korea. In truth, the average North Korean citizen endures severe restrictions on information access. The internet is a rare privilege, limited primarily to government elites and select scientists. Most citizens are confined to state-controlled media that incessantly propagates government-approved narratives, often masking the country's grim realities. Defying significant risks, Lefourou courageously shared these images globally, unveiling the stark truth behind North Korea's polished propaganda. Through his work, he aims to spotlight the severe information control and suppression of free speech prevalent in the country. The photograph of the woman pretending to use an inactive computer serves as a poignant symbol of the manipulation of information and the rigid control wielded by the North Korean regime. It underscores the glaring disparity between the country's depicted progress and the harsh reality its people face daily. Number 19. Child labor is rampant. Child labor remains a pervasive and deeply troubling issue in North Korea. According to the international NGO Save the Children, approximately 40% of North Korean children are engaged in labor activities, a clear violation of the United Nations Convention on the Rights of the Child, to which North Korea is a signatory. The root causes of this widespread child labor are manifold. Foremost among them is poverty. Decades of economic stagnation have left many families struggling to make ends meet, compelling them to depend on the income their children can generate. Moreover, the North Korean education system exacerbates the problem. With compulsory education ending at an early age, students are often urged to work to support their families and the state. The state media glorifies these young laborers, portraying their toil as a noble sacrifice for the collective good. Photographic evidence often shows these children appearing to be teenagers. Number 18. The 15 hairstyle limit. In North Korea, beauty comes with a strict set of rules. Among the most notable is the regulation that men and women can choose only from 15 state-sanctioned hairstyles. In August 2017, several major newspapers unveiled images of these 15 approved looks, leaving the international community both intrigued and astounded. The restrictions on hairstyles go even further. North Korean men must adhere to a meticulous set of haircut regulations imposed by the government. For young men, hair must not exceed 5 centimeters in length, with mandatory haircuts every 2 weeks. The state promotes the belief that longer hair drains essential nutrients from the brain, thus advocating for shorter styles. Older men are allowed a bit more leniency, but even their hair must stay under 7 centimeters. Interestingly, North Korean men are explicitly barred from emulating the distinctive hairstyle of their leader, Kim Jong-un, which features shaved sides and a longer top. This iconic look is notably absent from the list of approved hairstyles. Number 17. Bowing respectfully under the towering bronze statues. Under the towering bronze statues of North Korea's revered leaders, citizens are compelled to bow with the utmost respect. This act of obeisance is an unyielding expectation for everyone. The nation is often likened to a contemporary Nazi Germany, where the grim truths are masked by the spectacle of meticulously choreographed mass dances and synchronized swimming displays. The air of obedience permeates the streets, reflecting the regime's iron grip on the populace and offering only fleeting glimpses into the everyday lives of ordinary Pyongyang residents. Attempts to capture moments of life, such as elderly women resting beside heaps of hay, are swiftly curtailed with sharp reprimands, questioning the intent behind the photographs. In the city's bookstore, the shelves strain under the weight of hagiographic literature. An innocent act, such as folding a page of the Pyongyang newspaper, triggers severe admonishments, for the image of the leader must remain untarnished and is not to be disrespected in any manner. The fervent adulation for the leaders, the draconian control exercised by the government, and the faint whispers of hope for liberation that occasionally breach this oppression paint a vivid and somber portrait of life in North Korea. Number 16. Travel restrictions. North Korean citizens live under one of the world's most severe travel restrictions. The government's iron grip ensures that leaving the country is not just discouraged, but outright forbidden by law. This reality creates a life akin to being trapped in a vast, unbreakable snow globe, with the key jealously guarded by the authorities. Any attempt to cross the border illegally results in dire consequences, including torture, forced labor, and potentially a lifetime in political prison camps. Only a select few, typically students and athletes under the Athletic Talent Search (ATS) elite program, are granted the rare chance to travel abroad. However, their experiences are heavily scrutinized. These individuals are closely monitored, and upon their return, they undergo intense interrogation and ideological re-education to ensure their loyalty remains unshaken by outside influences. Even during international events, North Korean athletes face stringent precautions. Yong-Yeol Kim, who competed in the International Mathematical Olympiad, was sternly warned about the dangers of capitalism and instructed to avoid contact with South Korean students before leaving the country. The isolation of North Korea is further emphasized by the strict control over interactions with foreigners within its borders. Every conversation and action is under surveillance to ensure compliance with government mandates. In this rigorously controlled and isolated environment, North Koreans endure numerous restrictions and hardships. The path to freedom seems irrevocably sealed, and the hope for a different life remains a faint glimmer. Number 15. No internet access. For the 25 million residents of North Korea, internet access is not a choice, but an elusive privilege reserved for a fortunate few. Picture the internet as an elite gathering where only a few thousand individuals have an invitation. In North Korea, this digital divide is stark. Those granted internet access find themselves under constant surveillance by an oppressive regime. Every 5 minutes, users must endure screen freezes and await a librarian's permission and fingerprint verification to continue browsing. This tightly controlled environment extends further. A state security officer shadows each user during their 1-hour session, ensuring every activity is meticulously monitored. Acquiring the necessary permit to access the internet is an ordeal, often requiring up to 2 exhausting days navigating bureaucratic procedures. Once granted access, the online experience is severely limited, confined to government-approved websites available mainly in Chinese or English. For most North Koreans, the internet remains a distant dream. They are restricted to Kwangmyong, the national intranet, which offers limited content and operates at sluggish speeds. Only a few dozen families with connections to Kim Jong-un and a handful of foreigners enjoy unrestricted internet access. The rest of the population continues to yearn for a glimpse of the true, boundless digital world. Number 14. Beggars on the streets. Hidden beneath North Korea's shroud of secrecy is a harsh and unforgiving reality. The grip of poverty tightens relentlessly, leaving its citizens to battle daily hardships. In a society where self-reliance and self-sufficiency are not just ideals but imperatives, survival itself becomes a grueling endeavor. The nation's resources are misallocated, with a significant portion diverted to nuclear weapons development and military expansion. Meanwhile, the true backbone of the economy, the farmers, are left to bear the brunt of food shortages. These farmers, the unsung heroes, exhaust themselves in intensive agricultural efforts, often at the cost of the environment. Forests are sacrificed for farmland, leading to severe consequences such as soil erosion, flooding, and diminishing food supplies. The gap between the rich and poor widens, aggravating the food scarcity. The scars of past dependencies linger, with the abrupt cessation of aid from the Soviet Union during the Cold War and later from China, plunging North Korea deeper into poverty, isolation, and reliance on its limited resources. The streets of North Korea now witness an increasing number of beggars and homeless individuals. These people, exposed to the elements and the dangers of violence, exploitation, and abuse, struggle to find shelter and security. Their plight is compounded by the lack of access to education and healthcare, trapping them in an unending cycle of poverty and homelessness. Number 13. The world's worst airline. At the very bottom of the global aviation rankings sits Air Koryo, the only airline to earn a dismal 1-star rating from Skytrax. This rating starkly reflects the airline's failure to meet even the basic standards expected in the industry. Air Koryo operates around 39 passenger aircraft, a mix of fixed-wing planes and helicopters. Unfortunately, the majority of these planes are outdated, with limited transport capacity and short range. However, the airline does boast two relatively modern Russian-made 2004 aircraft designated for international routes. In 2006, the European Union banned Air Koryo from its airspace due to the antiquity of its fleet. This ban was partially lifted in March 2010, allowing the newer 2004s to traverse European skies. On board, passengers must adhere to strict rules, including a prohibition on photography. Non-compliance can lead to flight attendants confiscating cameras and deleting photos. Additionally, mishandling a newspaper featuring an image of North Korean leader Kim Jong-un, such as by crumpling it, can provoke a severe reprimand or worse. Number 12. Mandatory voting. In North Korea, voting isn't just a right, it's an obligation. Those who fail to participate face harsh consequences. Elections are held every 5 years, invariably resulting in landslide victories for the same ruling family. Officially, voter turnout is reported to be nearly 100%, a statistic that is widely disputed. The international community heavily criticizes North Korea's electoral process for its lack of competitiveness and transparency. Despite this, the North Korean government insists that their system is democratic and tailored to their nation's unique circumstances. Number 11. Alarming malnutrition rates among North Korean children. In North Korea, the scourge of malnutrition continues to wreak havoc on the youngest and most vulnerable. UNICEF reports that about 28% of North Korean children under the age of 5 suffer from stunting, a figure that is double the global average. This alarming statistic underscores the severe and far-reaching consequences of malnutrition on children's health and development. Children suffering from malnutrition face a host of serious challenges. Their physical health is compromised, making them more prone to infectious diseases and increasing their risk of mortality. The impact extends to their mental well-being, with cognitive development and learning abilities severely hindered. The root causes of this dire situation are multifaceted. Persistent food shortages and harsh living conditions are significant contributors. Moreover, the healthcare system is fraught with limitations, depriving children of essential nutritional services and interventions. Despite the gravity of the situation, the North Korean government has largely turned a blind eye, leaving many children to endure chronic hunger and malnutrition. Number 10. The predominance of train travel. In North Korea, trains are the lifeline connecting cities, embodying the primary mode of transportation for most citizens. Economic hardships make private cars and taxis luxuries that few can afford. Thus, public transportation becomes indispensable. Even the most recent subways and trams have an air of antiquity, showing signs of wear and tear. North Korea holds the distinction of having the fewest cars per capita in the world. In bustling cities like Pyongyang, buses dominate the transport scene. The bus network is quite expansive, featuring modern double-decker buses that have been a recent addition. Nevertheless, the reality for many commuters involves enduring rides on aged, overcrowded, and poorly maintained buses. Owning a car in North Korea is more than just having a means of transport. It symbolizes wealth and power, with prices soaring to about $40,000. Bicycles, though simpler, are also a rare commodity and come with their own set of regulations, including license plates. In rural areas, bicycles are the go-to option for short trips, while walking is a ubiquitous choice for many, especially within urban centers. Number 9. The intriguing world of North Korean cinema. Photographer Eric Lafouroux offers a captivating look into North Korea's most prominent film studio, the Korean Film Studio. His images unveil the secretive and tightly controlled film industry of this isolated nation. The deep-rooted cinematic culture of North Korea can be traced back to Kim Jong-il, the previous leader and father of the current leader, Kim Jong-un. An avid movie enthusiast, Kim Jong-il amassed a personal library containing thousands of films and spearheaded the construction of 7 movie theaters in Pyongyang alone. Remarkably, the city boasts an average of 1 movie theater per 300 residents, and screenings are freely accessible to the public. The North Korean government meticulously selects all actors, ensuring that their films consistently portray narratives of a gifted individual guiding the nation from adversity to prosperity. Number 8. The smoking culture among men. In North Korea, smoking is a deeply ingrained cultural practice, particularly among men. As of 2014, approximately 45% of men were daily smokers, contrasting sharply with only 2.5% of women, mainly older women from rural areas. This widespread habit has made smoking the leading cause of death in the country. In 2010, smoking-related illnesses accounted for the deaths of 34% of men and 22% of women, marking the highest smoking-related mortality rates globally. Despite efforts to curb tobacco use, the smoking rates have only modestly declined since their peak in the 2000s. Today, it is estimated that over 3.6 million adults and 25,000 children in North Korea smoke daily. On average, smokers in North Korea consume 12.4 cigarettes per day, with men averaging slightly higher at 15 cigarettes per day. The pervasive nature of smoking means that North Korean men can be seen smoking everywhere and at any time. However, it is worth noting that there is a strong cultural aversion to littering cigarette butts. Jung Hyun Cole, who guided our work in North Korea, shared insights into this phenomenon. He explained that mandatory military service plays a significant role in this smoking culture. The hardships endured during service make cigarettes a steadfast companion for many soldiers. Number 7. Heating with wood. In North Korea, enduring the bitter, icy winters requires meticulous preparation, as the country experiences some of the coldest temperatures in Asia. This preparation begins in early autumn, with a focus on amassing sufficient firewood and coal. In the northern regions, wood is the primary source of fuel, whereas the central regions predominantly rely on coal. As early as August, the coal markets bustle with activity, signaling the community's anticipation of the freezing months ahead. Rural households are equipped with fireplaces designed for burning coal, making it a central feature of their winter survival strategy. In contrast, residents of Pyongyang often employ the traditional owner-floor heating system to combat the chill. Some city dwellers go a step further, installing wood-burning stoves to enhance their heating capabilities. To maximize warmth, others use plastic sheets to cover their rooms, creating a greenhouse effect that helps to retain heat more effectively. The commitment to winter preparedness extends to the younger generation as well. During the frigid months, it is not uncommon for children to rise early to gather firewood, contributing to their families' efforts to stay warm and resilient against the harsh winter. Number 6. Formal dress code. In North Korea, meticulous attention to attire stands as a defining cultural trait. Unlike many other countries where visitors are greeted with a kaleidoscope of fashion, from cutting-edge trends to relaxed, youthful styles, North Korea impresses with its consistent and formal dress sense. The streets are noticeably devoid of anyone appearing unkempt or casual. A vivid illustration of this cultural norm can be observed in students dancing in parks, always dressed in formal wear, diligently straightening their clothes before posing for photos. As you wander through North Korean towns, you'll encounter women adorned in vibrant skirts, coordinated dresses, or tops intricately designed with eye-catching sequins. This scrupulous attention to dress underscores a deep-seated respect for oneself, the community, and the nation as a whole. Formal attire also plays a significant role in shaping a positive image of the country and its people for international visitors. However, certain styles like short skirts and revealing outfits are deemed inappropriate. While women may wear pants, rolling them up above the knee is prohibited. Those who violate hair dyeing or clothing regulations face administrative fines or even short-term imprisonment. Number 5. Propaganda village. When people hear about North Korea, their minds often drift to bizarre and enigmatic tales. One such tale is about the village of Kijongdong, also known as Peace Village, nestled in the demilitarized zone that divides the two Koreas. On the surface, Kijongdong resembles an idyllic town with its vibrant houses, schools, kindergartens, hospitals, and even a park. But beneath this flawless exterior lie numerous secrets. Kijongdong is widely believed to be a Potemkin village, a façade constructed to showcase the North Korean regime's might. The buildings in Kijongdong are rumored to be mere concrete shells with empty interiors. Windows lack glass panes, and electric lights remain on even during the day to give an illusion of bustling activity. During daylight hours, visitors might spot villagers tending fields or sweeping streets. However, come nightfall, Kijongdong turns into a ghost town. Towering above Kijongdong is a 167-meter flagpole, significantly taller than the 99-meter one in South Korea just across the border. This flagpole race between the two Koreas was particularly intense during the 1980s, earning it the moniker Flagpole War. The primary goal of Kijongdong is believed to be enticing South Korean defectors by presenting an enticing image of life in the North. However, this propaganda ploy has backfired spectacularly. Instead of luring defectors, it has only deepened South Koreans' suspicions and fortified their confidence in their own choices. Number 4. Pyongyang Arch of Triumph. Drawing inspiration from Paris's iconic Arc de Triomphe, the Pyongyang Arch of Triumph stands as a monumental testament to North Korea's architectural prowess. This grand edifice, while echoing its French counterpart, surpasses it in scale, casting a formidable presence on Pyongyang's skyline. Reaching a height of 60 meters, the Pyongyang Arch of Triumph is the second tallest triumphal arch globally. Constructed entirely from pristine white granite in 1982, the structure radiates both elegance and durability. Beyond its architectural significance, it serves as a powerful symbol of Kim Il-sung's unwavering spirit, celebrating his pivotal role in the resistance against Japanese occupation from 1925 to 1945. The 25,500 white granite blocks are a unique tribute, each representing a day in the life of the esteemed leader. The arch was officially inaugurated on April 15, 1982, coinciding with Kim Il-sung's 70th birthday. The day of the inauguration, however, was marred by a significant security mishap when Kim Il-sung nearly tumbled from the podium. This incident revealed a critical flaw in the security system, a loose screw that caused the motion sensor to malfunction. Number 3. Green phone, red phone. The BBC reports that a green phone and a red phone sit on a direct communication table between North and South Korea inside the Freedom House in South Korea, located in the truce village of Panmunjom. Established in 1971, this table facilitates communication between the Red Cross societies of both Koreas across the border. A similar setup exists in North Korea's Panmunjom Panak office, just under 100 meters away within the demilitarized zone. Over the years, more communication lines were added, notably in 1972, the 1990s, and the 2000s. Today, there are 33 communication lines. 5 for daily communication, 21 for inter-Korean dialogues, 2 for aviation issues, 2 for maritime issues, and 3 for economic cooperation. However, most of these lines have been dormant since February 2016, when North Korea cut ties with South Korea following Seoul's suspension of the joint economic project at the Kaesong Industrial Complex in response to Pyongyang's nuclear tests. Despite the severed communication, South Korea continued its routine of calling North Korea twice daily, using the green phone. The red phone remains designated for incoming calls from North Korea. According to a spokesperson from South Korea's Ministry of Unification, the lines are technically still connected, but North Korea has not been responding. Number 2. Coal mining. In the shrouded landscapes of North Korea, coal mining emerges as an unexpectedly prevalent occupation. This clandestine activity unfolds within the country's expansive terrain, obscured by the regime's tight control. Yet, North Korea's wealth isn't limited to coal. The nation is also rich in a variety of minerals such as zinc, iron, and notably, magnesium. With an estimated 6 billion tons of magnesium reserves, North Korea holds the distinction of being the second largest repository of this resource globally. Key mining operations are concentrated in the provinces of Hwanghae and Jagang. Despite the immense potential, the mining industry in North Korea grapples with significant challenges. Chief among these is the erratic power supply, which hampers the functioning of mining equipment and machinery. The outdated machinery further exacerbates the inefficiencies, severely impacting productivity. Compounding these issues is the chronic lack of investment capital, which stalls efforts to modernize infrastructure and machinery. Nevertheless, the latent potential of North Korea's mining sector remains a beacon for international investors. Estimates from South Korea's national mining company suggest that North Korea's mineral wealth could be worth up to $6 trillion or approximately 5.5 trillion euros. China stands as the largest foreign investor, having poured roughly $500 million into North Korea's mining industry over the past 11 years. Number 1. 51 unique social classes. In North Korea, social stratification is a pivotal mechanism for population control and discrimination, implemented through a system called songbun. This intricate classification scheme segments citizens into 51 distinct categories based on their perceived loyalty to the regime and the Kim dynasty. The North Korean Human Rights Commission reports that this stratification is determined at birth, influencing nearly every facet of a person's life. Children born into families deemed loyal are granted superior educational opportunities, preferential admission to elite universities, and prominent positions within the government, military, and crucial industries. These families enjoy prioritization in housing, food distribution, healthcare, and other social services. Conversely, those categorized in the hostile class face stringent travel restrictions, constant surveillance, and the threat of detention in labor camps. Despite these rigid structures, the informal market economy has gradually emerged, allowing some individuals to amass wealth and subtly shift their social standing. Additionally, the youth in North Korea are increasingly exposed to external information, fostering a growing awareness and more progressive views on social stratification. Nonetheless, these changes are gradual, and the songbun system continues to be a fundamental element of North Korea's political framework. Dear friends, please press the like button and subscribe to the channel to support the team making this video. Thank you very much.